firstly, just to you, Jack, first, obviously starting this weekend, how do you see that? Is that the chance you've been waiting for?
Yeah, look, it's good to get the nod after last weekend to play again. Obviously, it's only my second game, so felt a bit rusty on the weekend, so it's good to kind of get a few more minutes and get another run out. To be honest with you, I'm not looking further ahead than Wales this weekend. It's a massive test. Bessie's last game, and Diviva, Joe's last game and stuff. So it's I won't read too much into it. Just going to go ahead and try iron out a few creases that I had in my game last week.
But interesting that CJ starts at 6, and this is a new combination, obviously with Josh at 7, you at 8. Do you feel your game is where it needs to be in terms of claiming that number 8 spot? Yeah,
absolutely. I think we have to be adaptable as well going into the World Cup, where people might take knocks and you have to move lads around. So I think it's about showing versatility and being able to put lads in different positions that maybe they're not necessarily playing in the whole time, but so they can do a job and we still get the best result for the team. So it's good to be able to line out with CJ and have Josh there as well. So looking forward to it.
Rob, obviously your inclusion and it feels like the reduction of the squad. Rory talked about it previously that it is really tightening the group. There has to be a bit of feeling though for the lads left out. What are your thoughts for the likes of Devon and guys who probably would have expected to be on?
Yeah, listen, it's always very tough, isn't it? And we met together on the 16th of June, and everybody has put in an insane amount of work. So you do feel really bad for people who miss out on selection, because we've all been there at some stage or throughout our career, but World Cup it's the pinnacle, isn't it? So you do feel a huge element of it, but at the same time, you can't have too much room for sentiment in sport either. And we've been given a huge task now, the lads who take the field on Saturday, and we really need to kick on another gear from what we've produced over the last 3 weeks, because Scotland round 1, it's a different makeup and how the pool games fell for us 4 years ago, and we really need to make sure we're firing at all cylinders for that first week. So this weekend it's a big step for us.
And that's just it was dealt with by the two boys, Andy and Rory. They both kind of stressed the importance of being pretty much near to where you need to be for that 22nd game. You really need to be in the straps this weekend.
Yeah, well, we have to be. It's the biggest game of the pool probably for us, and we know that Scotland are starting to bring nicely. They got a good win over France at home. So it's also a perfect test for us. Wales at home, it's as tough as it gets. So hopefully we can show what we've been doing a little bit more over the last few weeks. And the guys who played in the Principality last week kicked it on another gear. A lot of changes now this weekend, so there's a big onus on us to make sure that we replicate what they did and add a little bit more.
Just from a personal point of view, your third World Cup, if I'm correct, a great achievement for yourself personally.
Yeah, listen, it's any time you get selected for a World Cup, it's incredible, isn't it? I think knowing that it's going to be my last one does make it a little bit different, and I keep trying to tell myself to enjoy it. It is difficult to do, but the World Cup, like I said, it is the pinnacle for any rugby player, and to do it for Ireland is always very, very humbling for me.
Just what you were saying earlier, Rob, how important is it just with the team's confidence even to lay down a marker into the World Cup?
Yeah, it is. The guys last week, made a big step in terms of the team's confidence. To get a win away on the board was big for us. We've trained really well this week, which will give us another little lift in confidence. And then if we can just bring it into the weekend, and I think probably the more important thing for us is getting a performance. And just showing that we look like a real close team, that we're starting to gel together more, and we're reading off each other a lot more, which probably wasn't there in that game in Twickenham. More often than not, when you get a really good performance, the result will look after itself. But performance-wise, we need to take another big step.
Rob, can you just talk about Rory's captaincy and some of the influence he has on the squad? Obviously, his last game in the Aviva tomorrow, and hopefully he'll still be captaining Ireland in November. Just about. What kind of impact does he have on role does he play in the squad and the team?
Yeah, it's huge, isn't it? And you know, sometimes it gets a little bit undervalued. I think his win rate, what he's achieved, some of the momentum victories that we've had as a team, you know, have been under Rory. You know, he's a brilliant leader. He's the glue that brings the team together a lot. You know, and again, he's another guy who's training really well, and I'm sure he's very excited to get out there and demonstrate, you know, that he's still hugely capable of producing big performances, even at his ripe old age.
Like you said, no room for sentiment, but how good would it be as a group to give him a sort of send off tomorrow? It's of sorts, you know, obviously a home game. I suppose Joe as well, last home game it would be.
Yeah, it's obviously very important, but it's not at the forefront of our mind. You know, like I say, performance is huge for us this week. And even if you scale back the performance, it's, you know, putting it into blocks of the first 10 minutes, second 10 minutes, and if we can look after all those little mini blocks and win all those little moments, performance look after itself, victory does, and then you get to, you know, to enjoy and feel proud of giving Joe and Rory the big send-off, and, you know, our own Irish fans a big farewell before we head off to Japan.
Jack, maybe about 12-18 months ago we could have predicted back row selection for the really big games for Ireland. Do you think it's a little bit less predictable now that, you know, the back row could be a lot more open to selection for that Scotland game?
Yeah, you know, I think everyone who's had a run it so far has gone really well, so I don't think there's any kind of dead certs. You know, going off the selection this weekend alone, like, you can show that players are moving around in different positions, so I don't think anyone's really nailed on to start, and, you know, it's another opportunity this weekend for lads to put their hands up and to show that they're ready and they want to put in big performances.
Well, just can I ask you as well about, you know, like yourself, Johnny Sexton, Keane, you know, some of the great players who played for, and we've seen that you can be out with a knock for a couple of months and come back into a side and have a big impact. Is Joey Kirby at that level yet?
Yeah, like Joey is. He hasn't come back to full training just yet. He's done little bits and pieces, but, you know, he's a very, you know, he's very athletic, Joey, and, you know, he's quick. He's got great footwork. He's strong. He's all the, you know, the attributes of a, you know, of just a really good rugby player, and they're generally the types of people who when they do come back in, who've been out for maybe a few weeks, that they just hit the ground running really well. And you know, when Joey does get his opportunity, we've no doubt that that's exactly what he'll do.
And conditions as well, because the last couple of World Cups have been pretty favourable for Irish teams where you've gone to. Has there been much talk about the conditions and how attritional it could be over in Japan?
Yeah, well, we've, you know, it's been part of a plan that's been put into place throughout pre-season, and you know, we've got some superb backroom staff led by Jason Cowman who have been putting in a huge amount of protocols over the last couple of months, to make sure that we're best equipped for some of the challenges that we're going to face over there. You know, so we've certainly been implementing a lot of them, and making sure that, you know, when we do get into that environment, that we'll have practiced a few different things.
Definitely your last one, is it?
I would imagine so.
Jack, just you mentioned last week and the start and the big step forward that was taken by the team collectively, but individually, have you been tasked or asked to do something a little bit different this weekend? I'm thinking of just getting the ball in hand a little more often and going on those trademark runs.
No, I wouldn't say so. I think last weekend the kind of position I was playing at the back line, it was a bit different for me. Probably didn't get the kind of stats that I would have liked by the end of the game, but I think it was kind of indicative of the 80 minutes that was played, and, you know, other than the likes of Killer, I don't think anyone had that many carries or that many meters made. So, you know, to be honest with you, I'm just looking for it to go out this weekend, be better than it was last weekend, and build on it. And as Rob touched on about building on performances and momentum heading into Japan, so for me that's my only focus.
Rob, sorry, you mentioned that before. Sometimes you find it difficult to enjoy World Cups. Is that just because of pressure and what's at stake?
Yeah, probably. You know, they're great times, and, you know, they're hugely enjoyable, and everyone gets very excited when you're winning. I've been to some World Cups where things haven't gone so well, and all of a sudden they don't become very enjoyable pretty quickly. you know, so you know, it's simple. When you're winning, you're having the time of your life, and when you're not, it gets a bit tricky. So it's no secret formula, and we know exactly what we have to do.
Rob, where do you feel you are with your own game? You look particularly sharp in that first half at Twickenham. Are you confident, I suppose, with the body of work behind you long summer pre-season, that you can kind of slot back in? You know, it's quite unusual to have a test match so early in the season.
Yeah, listen, I think, like I said, we've all trained, you know, very hard over the summer, and you know, there's only so much of pre-season that you can do before you start to get itching to get some games. So, you know, I think I came off in Twickenham after 54, 55 minutes. So, you know, like Jack just said, we're always trying to build on what we've done beforehand. And, you know, so I'll take that Twickenham performance and try and just build a little bit more on it.
You must have been happy there with the 55 minutes you did have, and obviously the team's performance went kind of downhill, but the start you made was pretty impressive.
There was some good things. There was you know, there was a fair few mediocre things as well, which were highlighted. You know, not just for me but for all of us. You know, you're always trying to chase a close to perfect game as possible. You're never going to get there, but you keep striving and trying to get better and better every week. But you know, certainly there was a lot of things from that Twickenham game that I need to brush up on this weekend.